Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of TEQ. In February, I was lucky enough to be in Redmond to see what, in my opinion, would be one of a watershed moment in technology, which was the launch of Bing and Edge, powered by generative AI by Microsoft. And since then, we've seen Microsoft moving quickly to really permeate all the services and applications with generative AI. Their vision is to really empower access to information for all and create a much more personal computing experience. To do that, you need technology, which they have, but also leaders that are very empathetic and real human being. And today I have the privilege to have Panos Panay with me. It doesn't really need an introduction.
Are you saying I'm a real human being?
You are a real human being.
Okay,
and that's what I always appreciate about you. Because especially when you have something as powerful as AI, not losing touch with the human side is absolutely critical. So I'm delighted to have you today to talk about this.
I'm grateful you're here. Thank you. I know you came all the way to Redmond too, which is just awesome.
I don't have this amazing set back home. Like normally it's just me and my bookcase. So.
If you record, you do record a lot of stuff, right? If you record as much as I do, you need a little area to get it done. You need a little area.
Yes, working on it. Let's start with this idea that if I think about Windows, you're reaching billions of people and organizations, and you're with the same product catering to pretty trivial stuff of the day to day to very critical stuff like, healthcare. You have hospitals running on Windows and banks. And philosophically, how do you approach a product like Windows that reaches so many people and so different use cases?
It's a great question. And when your customer is everyone, which is it's a little bit too absolute, Carolina, but you have to anchor on your vision. And so that sounded grandiose, but the truth is, you're right. It's global. It touches every type of person on the planet. It is this opportunity to democratize knowledge, technology, education, and it's real. And so to your point, whether it's helping run a hospital or an airport or just in your living room, to connect you what's most important to you, you have to anchor on a vision. And if there's nothing bigger than it's simple, like Windows is massive, but our vision is also incredible. The mission of the company is where you anchor yourself. It almost sounds like a canned answer, but it's real. Like, how do you empower every organization and human on the planet to achieve more? If you understand that you are solving for such a grand set of possibilities, yet you ultimately can ground yourself on what the product should be for each area you're focused on. And that could be commercial, it could be education, it could be large enterprise, it could be small businesses, it could be consumers. Consumers are an interesting term, which is silly. Let's call them people. Whether you're a gamer, whether you're at home, you browse the web, you're a student, you're a teacher. These are each type of person, and around the planet, you're thinking about, how do I empower every single one of them? There's a team of product makers, a team of platform creators, a team of designers, marketers that all have that same ethos. Like, we're here to change the world, right? Yes. We're here to empower every human, right? And then we talk about it. Products are a reflection of the people that make them. And so you really have to be passionate about what you're doing. And I am. And I know my team is. I was fortunate to do an all hands with them yesterday, and the energy in the room was palpable. Like, you can just feel it. And then now take emerging tech, Carolina, and then take that mission and take the serving of billions of people. It's pretty incredible what's happening right now. And you're anchoring so much on AI right now, and you're talking about it specifically even here. The possibilities that come with that original mission to empower every organization on the planet, and the tie to the billions of people that use Windows today, or the billion plus, you are in this space of unlimited possibility.
So you mentioned AI, and I think, if we play the drinking game right now in any conference and any tech
Can we do
event.
it in coffee? Can we do it with
can
coffee?
do it in
Every
coffee,
time
yeah.
you say AI, I'll take a sip of my coffee.
But if you're thinking about AI and how it's going to transform the future of tech,
Yeah.
how do you think about that and the way that not 5 years, but 5 months down the line, right, I'm going to use my devices and my software in a different way?
Take it. So go back to, yes, it's a buzzword, sure, but it's actually the depth of this one is so incredible. Like it's real. But now take hardware, software interactions, take the interaction models of the past that have changed, the paradigms of how you do something that have changed. I love this idea. I'm a mouse and keyboard person. I came to Microsoft, to do mice and keyboards originally. And I still do, but I have to say that was a different time. And think about it for a minute. When the mouse was created, how the interaction model on the PC changed, what it meant for pointing, what it meant for GUI, what it meant for understanding how to get information. Then the scroll wheel came and what that meant and how you communicate through. And with every kind of large interaction model change, AI is playing the same role right now. Like there's no question. There's a shift in behavior. There's a shift in how you do something. So it's more than just this, people use a word. Although I think a year ago, literally, maybe 2, there was a lot of, hey, there's AI, there's machine learning, and these were words, they were still pretty important. But right now it's...
But less real, maybe, right?
It was still real, but it was so subtle. It was like, yeah, what are they saying? What does it mean? You know, and like think of eye gaze correction, which we put into the product. Like you can, feel like you're looking at somebody when you're on a call. It's very powerful. Like that's the beginning of AI.
I just like that you don't make me roll my eyes.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. So that's good. And when you do roll your eyes, we won't see it. So that's also really important. Which, by the way, I've seen you do to me. So let's call it what it is. But I think even if you take like a build I was talking about, the moment, the transformation into GUI, what that meant. That's what I think Rajesh talked about. And then I took it a little bit more basic and said, when I first found the internet, what it meant, it changed everything I did. And I remember reading the whole thing. So at least that's how it felt. And now it just became it's a companion for me. It's such an important thing in our lives. And it's changed how we interact and how we do things. And I think we're there. We've reached a tipping point. You see it. I think the co-pilots that are coming from Microsoft, the work that's coming from OpenAI and ChatGPT, it's phenomenal. It's transformational.
Microsoft has always been very attentive to being inclusive.
Yeah.
Whether from a kind of an equity perspective or actually an accessibility perspective. I think when it comes to AI, the need to be inclusive is even more important. How do you do that?
Accessibility, inclusion, you have to be thinking about these things to make a great product. They're not just, they can't be words. They're not great words. They're too easy to use. They got to be part of who you are. They got to be part of what you're doing. That includes having a diverse team that's building a diverse product.
Yes.
That includes respectfully understanding what accessibility means. By the way, we have Jenny Leigh Fleury. She's maybe the most incredible accessibility leader I've ever met, and how she makes me better as a human.
She is. And you also have Dave, who
Dave
adore.
just blows me away.
Yeah.
I can't. And every time I meet with Dave, he schools me, and I feel it. But oh my God, it just makes us better.
Yeah.
And so when you think about it, like, is it important? More important now? It is. But now think about the opportunity. It is. I mean, I just kind of stated it's as important as anything. But everything we do in Windows, everything we do in Surface, everything we do across Microsoft, we design accessibility in. It wasn't like that 10 years ago. It wasn't. I mean, it was a little like you try and figure it out, and but now it's like it's part of the product. It's so important. I can't tell you. And now AI comes in and it just makes it better. The opportunities off the charts for accessibility, for inclusion, for connecting humans. Like if you get into Windows and you start getting into magnifier, if you don't know what that is, look it up. If you have dexterity challenges or opportunities, that's how you use voice, how you use narrator, how you use transcription, how you adjust the keyboard, how you see the pixels, how you use them. Like there's so much in the product that's built into it that unless you're an expert, you won't get there. And so now I go, oh my goodness, not only can we build the features that you need in, which is part of our design inherent, but now how we can make you a power user of them, or how we can help you find them, how we can help you be that power user, transformative. I mean, literally transformative. So is it more important? I think it's one of the most important things we do.
So can I qualify my more important?
Yeah, absolutely.
I say that because I think that the issue that maybe is not as visible with hardware is that this is from a user perspective, I just don't see it, right? And so I need to trust you to focus on inclusion.
Oh, now you're right.
So
now, okay. So absolutely. And do that. And do that. Trust us.
And I think that linked
that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. And I think that that's kind of leads me to, you know, the next point I wanted you to share your opinion on, which is, you know, there's been a lot of doom and gloom in the press about the risk of AI. And absolutely, you know, organizations need to be accountable. But in my opinion, the upside that AI is going to bring is so big that we need to move ahead. But at the same time, you need to be held accountable as an organization.
Yeah, do that too. Like hold us accountable, because you're right. Like with any new technology, it's going to be disruptive. There's no question. It's always initially disruptive. With that disruption, there's a whole new set of capabilities, opportunities. I think people see that. I think the thing you're actually pointing at is probably as important as the last conversation we just had in many ways. How do you do it responsibly?
Yeah.
And how do you disrupt responsibly? What regardless of the technology, but AI in particular. Just remember, we've been doing AI within Microsoft and getting through it for decades. It's not like this didn't happen
overnight.
The tipping point's here, but I would say the transformation is here. Technology is moving faster than it's ever moved before. Right now, as we sit here, like in my lifetime, this is crazy, awesome. But we've also been doing responsible AI since 2019. We pride ourselves as a company, of course, on safety, security, privacy, like the trust.
Yeah.
Bucket that into trust. It's part of who we are. It's part of what you expect from Microsoft and from me and from my team, this team. And so I think it's important. So when we design, just like we design in accessibility, we design for safety, we design for trust. We have the responsible AI board. Kevin Scott is an incredible leader who drives process that just helps us understand, like, where does responsibility lie? How do we learn every day? How do we support customers every day? And how do we do it all within like full responsibility of design and the capability on the other side of it? And so you see that. I will tell you this. Here's what's critical. Approach.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's always looking for a technical word, but here I'll give you the non-technical word. You have to approach it with humility. You have to be willing to not only change, fail, but you definitely have to understand. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. I think we take a really nice approach as a company. I believe that.
I love that, because there's course correction in that as well. And you particularly, if you think about Surface, have a tendency to have a vision way ahead of anybody else. So
you have to be
which
wrong.
Is a
you have
curse
to be willing to be wrong. Yeah, it's definitely
right?
a curse. I'm about the blessing. I agree. And you know that humility comes with, it's okay if you're wrong. It's okay. Just do what's right.
I think the other part that oftentimes when you're talking about things like trust and privacy and security, people get it. But the other stuff seems fluffy at times. And what I find when I talk to people around whether it is sustainability or diversity and inclusion, and is that they miss that the more you have the trust, the more you do business. right? You're not just, yes, you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. That should be the drive, right?
Yeah.
But it's good for business.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's good for any relationship.
It is.
It turns out like these things matter.
Yeah.
Not only as humans, or as businesses, but as like all of us.
Yeah, that's where you get loyalty.
We're fallible. Like we're going to make mistakes, of course.
Yeah.
But in any relationship, in trust relationship, but yeah, it does. It makes a huge difference. So it's important for the brand. It's another way to say it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it makes your
both my
addressable
personal
market.
brand, but more,
Yes.
but really the company's brand. It matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned what you want to empower.
You made my brain spin. I'm going all. I have so many different directions I'm going right now. I don't even know. Like, quick, get to your next question before I
take me where.
Start talking to you.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
That's where I want to take you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Between human and AI. Obviously, it's not. It's
not between human and human.
I
got it.
I mean, question. Well, maybe AI can help us with that as well, because sometimes we do need some help.
Yeah, then I have to see your eye roll. I can just get the
exactly,
yeah.
But Copilot, the name in itself, it is quite fascinating because it's Copilot, so it's there for me, not instead of me. Help me understand how you're thinking about that collaboration.
Copilot's a perfect definition. If you break down that word, you're still the pilot. This AI is not going to replace human ingenuity. It's going to augment it. It's going to help. It's going to enhance. Like, that's the best way to say it. It's there for you the way you need it. The way you need it. The transformation is. Just think, opportunities are endless. Healthcare, finance, teachers, students, tech, even in our homes. Like, what can be done relative to amplifying human ability, I think the possibilities are endless, done right. And I think what we're trying to do right now is, how do we give the right tools to a teacher to create their lesson plan, what they have in mind for what they go create? How do we help a student with their reading ability? We're not going to read for them, but my goodness, if we can help them learn faster and better, and some of the work we're doing in our education, I should say, that's a buzz. Sorry, that's an internal term. Helping a child focus on what they want to achieve, what they want to do, what they want to make, versus how. I don't know. Like, for me, that's dreamy. To take a creation that's in my mind and get it down into my, out my heart, through my hands and onto this product, and I can see it, what I've created through. AI enhancing that changes the world.
I honestly think that we're at the point where needs to be more focus on rethinking workflows and where our skill set as a human being is going to complement the AI than not necessarily the technology per se. The technology is probably the easier thing, right? It's trying to figure out, okay, now that I have this power, what can I focus my energy on instead of doing the things?
For sure. If you're
like
a doctor,
the calculator.
You're a doctor, you're looking for a prognosis. Let me just take it to that level. Like, you're trying to get to a prognosis. If AI can help that doctor get there faster.
Who doesn't want that?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But then you take that human ingenuity and you take that instinct and then move it to speed as well. Like, okay. I think, remove some of those tedious things, enable more creativity, enhance the thoughts you've started with. I think that's where the collaboration between AI and people is. And if we do the Copilot right, and we are, you're going to find it. And it's going to be easy.
Yeah, and that allows you to also, what you were saying earlier about freeing that power user experience without putting the toll of learning on the user.
Right.
Which is basically what we all want. I just want stuff to get done. I don't necessarily want to live through the pain of getting it done.
You want it? Yeah, that's right. Why live through the pain?
Yeah.
Maybe I want to be smarter, but I don't have time to learn.
Yes. Society.
Okay, here we go. So you're going bigger.
I'm going bigger. So I know what the value to me is. What do you think, or what do you wish your impact on society could be through generative AI?
First, like, I want Windows to democratize it for everybody. Like right now, the number one question I get, how do I use it? Not maybe from your, okay, so the people watching, if we're recording, right, picture. So the people watching, they're going to say, what? They're using it. Maybe there's a few that are not, or have tried it and don't get it. It could be. Put that aside for just a minute and like, it's right. Like, get after it, learn it. When Windows Copilot's in WIP, get after it, try it. And we're going to learn and go and so forth. But my vision is, how do we democratize it for everybody? When you're at that dinner party and somebody asks you that question.
Yes, which happens more often
and a dinner
than
party,
not.
is there such thing as dinner parties? Whatever. Like you went to somebody's house and they're like, hey, I heard about AI. Like, what do you want? Like, what is it? Like, what? I want to just say, click here, your Copilot's there, type this in, copy it, put it there, or just write something and see what it helps you with. Democratization. Eyes wide open. I put the mouse in your hand. Put the mouse in your hand. Just do this. Oh my gosh, it points. Changes everything. But before it was in your hand, you're like, I don't know what this thing is. I heard there's a mouse. Put it there. Put your hand on it. Now move your hand and watch how the cursor moves with your hand. That transformation, that simplicity, I'm trivializing it. I totally get it. But if we can get AI there in a democratized way, and you can see how it can be your Copilot, how it can collaborate with you, but you can do it in a way where you don't have to ask, where you don't have to be embarrassed, where you don't have to guess.
Yeah.
That's really important. In product making, once you embarrass your customer, they're like, I'm not doing that again. I feel silly. Nobody says that. They don't say I feel embarrassed, but they, you know, there's this moment of like, I'm not going to tell people I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I have a teenager. I know what that feels like.
You have, and they are here. Maze is here. So like, this is a real thing. And now that's my dream. Like if I can get there, and I believe we will, and like the ability to connect other humans, if I can do real-time live translation of content for you on the spot in any language right away, if I can redistribute a voice note into words that you wanted without you having to transcribe it yourself, if you can summarize documents, if you can rewrite your thoughts, if you like the idea that you can do it without having to think that it's there for you, there's so much potential for good. There's so much potential for removing the minutia. There's so much potential to create more, so much potential to learn more. Probably most inspiring, so much potential to teach others things they don't know, but they've always wanted to. Like this is where, for me, like you wake up and you go, oh my goodness, let me have a shot at this.
And I couldn't agree more with you. I think it's extremely exciting that there are more people, as my feel, trying to stop this thing than not actually, if you're looking at governments and everything else, you know, they're not understanding. So I really want you personally and then Microsoft to tell that more, and it's not a story. It's not like marketing storytelling. It's really enlighten people at the opportunity that there is, so that we stop trying to stop this and actually capitalize instead, and trying to figure out how we change, how our workflows change, where the focus should be. Because otherwise there's such a wasted energy, right?
I will. How about, okay, you got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
We're almost at time. I always think that we can talk forever.
Yeah, we probably could.
I have a question, as we mentioned, my child, and you're a dad and a very involved and passionate dad.
I'm sorry I said that Maze was here. Maybe
that's okay.
Was I not supposed to say that?
No, that's fine. They're getting paid to be here and shoot B-roll, so that's okay. But I think what I'm concerned about, it's kind of links to what I was saying about people trying to stop versus not. And I think that our kids have such a great opportunity to do more, better, different because of AI.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that they use it responsibly, not as a shortcut to something where, they don't then have to think, right? Because we want them to still be decent human being and, smart thinkers.
I would worry more about the adults than the children, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, given the last few years in this country, yeah.
I think, look, we'll build the AI responsibly.
Yeah.
And, we'll create the tools. We'll provide for children, adults, jokes aside, that they can use in the right way to enhance what they do. But let me just give you a frame so you can think about it. I believe that AI will be innate for our children. It'll just be part of who they are, and they'll be able to use it to be better, do great things, learn faster, create, post, whatever it is that it is used to communicate, and it'll enhance. It'll make a difference. Have you seen a 3-year-old with a touchscreen?
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were 3?
No.
If I handed you a screen, you wouldn't have touched it. As a matter of fact, there was nothing to hand you. But you had a marker.
You just dated me.
You have a marker and a refrigerator. You held it like this. And my point is, even as adults, we're still learning these interaction models, but as children, it's innate to who they are. I think AI will be very similar. You give a 3-year-old a touchscreen and they can manage a Surface, an iPhone, whatever it is that they use in ways that would blow your mind. I think 2 years ago we'd celebrate. Can you believe it? Look at Sophie, how she uses that. That's incredible. And then now you look at it, you're like, how do I do that? You're asking, how do I do it? How do I learn?
Yeah.
I think it's changing the world in that way, where AI will be that next innate piece of how we interact. I think our children will pick it up faster than we could, than not. And I think they'll do it. I think we provide the tools responsibly. I think we should help them learn with it and find the ways. And not like I gave you the example earlier of if we can create a great example of choose your own adventure through AI, and a child can learn to be creative and read in a whole new way. Incredible.
Yes.
And I think that the power of that is you'll be making, probably helping children not only be more responsible, but also learn, create at a pace we haven't seen.
See, that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because you always bring it down to the human being and forget about productivity. It's all about empowerment. Right?
You love
it's
the word,
all about
you talk about productivity as if it's a bad word, and I get that. It is. How do you, and it does come down to that.
Yeah.
You can make it simple. How do you get something done in one hand? And the other one, you can complexify it and say, how do you empower people to do what they want to do?
Yeah.
I think you have a team of creators at Microsoft that's what they do. They want to empower people to do what they want to do. And I think we believe in what we're doing. We put a lot of passion in it. We put a lot of love into it. We do. And now, I want our customers to take that passion and love out of the product and make beautiful things.
I'm looking forward to seeing what people are going to do with it. I continue to follow the journey. I'm blessed to know a lot of people on your team, and I know that passion and love for empowering people is actually genuine. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the time.
You bet.
And thank you all. I don't have to tell you where you can find Panos. Is everywhere on social media. And till the next TEQ, thank you for joining.